It's been going downhill for Braxphone ever since he quit HSR and Genshin Impact, guys, and all the games he quit, because he now has a video saying why everyone hates Blue Protocol Star Residence. He absolutely loves this game. A lot of people actually hate it. I've heard rumblings that he has a massive L take. I don't know if he got involved with Mr. Pokey. He hasn't been speaking to Tectone. I don't know what's happening here, guys. He maybe has lost his base takes, or maybe he's just sponsored to say it's good, like the Genshin creators of great. So guys, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into this video. Because I've heard rumblings of, review shaming people, and I don't fuck with that at all. And if you guys didn't watch it already, I have a whole review video out on this game, Blue Protocol Star Residence, if you want to know my thoughts on it. I think it's absolute shit. See what Braxphone thinks.
So I've been enjoying the hell out of Blue Protocol Star Residence, and I think a lot of other people have too. If you look at the Steam database and Steam charts, you can see there's a lot of people playing it right now. Actually,
I will say this video was posted 3 days ago. I want to see what it looks like, because as per gacha games go, usually the first month is popping for a gacha game, then it starts declining pretty fucking fast. So let me see here. All right, so comparing it is actually going down. Why a bit? Now, we're gonna have to wait to see what the weekend looks like, because usually players will play more on the weekend, especially with an MMO type game. So we might have to wait to see what the weekend looks like for this game. But all-time peak for 8 days is going to be 94. Oh wait, no, the all-time peak was 8 days ago at 94,000. Now they've lost about half that player base, which I guess should be expected, around 49,000 players, and the 24-hour peak was at 56,000. Let's compare that to what Braxphones look like here. So all-time peak was 4 days ago. So, okay, so the peak has not changed. The all-time peak has not changed. So that's good to know, I guess. But the 24-hour peak was 77,000, and the players right now was 69,000. Now, this video was posted on 3 days ago. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was reflecting last weekend. I guess we can see it right here, right? October 13th. It hadn't really hit October 14th yet. When was October 13th? That's when, oh, on Monday. The player base has actually dropped by quite a bit on this game. So I'm curious to see where the player base goes from here, because okay, it's still mixed reviews on Steam. Who would have thought? And it looks like around 50% of the reviews are positive still. So you have about 50-50 here. So I'm not really going to go over too many of the reviews here. We're going to see what he has to say about it. But yeah, so player count is down right now.
As you can see, 69,000 people online right now. Yeah. Very nice. There was 94K peak 4 days ago. The game just came out 4 days ago. So that's pretty good, right? And the thing
but so the thing is, though, it hasn't reached an all new peak since that point, and it's been out for over a week at this point. You would think the player count would go up, and honestly, the reviews have only went up by about 2% since the making of this video here.
It's really interesting.
So, I mean, like, obviously, I think the game did get review bombed quite a bit, but I do want to touch on reasons later in this video when he actually maybe gets into the point of why I think this game got review bombed, because of how I think the game is actually perceived by a lot of people trying to play this game, and just the overall jank within the game as well. So
only on Steam. This isn't even counting their own launcher, which probably adds more, and on mobile.
Let's be honest, guys. How many more players do you really think this is adding on their own launcher? Who the fuck is really going to download the Blue Protocol Star Residence launcher to play the games? Playing on mobile? That shit is fucking diabolical to play on mobile. Dude, your phone's gonna explode before you even get to the tutorial. It cooked, absolutely cooked.
So
my hands
the
were.
real number of peak players is probably higher than 250K, and I would say the active
Do you
players
think the you think the average all-time peak is 250K players?
Probably around 200K right now.
I don't know about that. I don't know if the I don't know. I don't think it's 250K. I don't think it's 94K either. I definitely think it's higher. I would say probably around 150 to 200K was probably the all-time peak, but I could be wrong.
Maybe a little bit less, but there are a lot of people online. And you can tell because every single line you go to, there's just tons of people.
Well, it just got released. It's a new gacha game that people have been hyped for. People were hyped for this game before Genshin Impact came out. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of people playing the game and trying to try out the game, not to mention the amount of content creators they paid to sponsor their game and say good things about the game, and the amount of people they paid to stream the game and stuff like that. Obviously, it's going to have a lot of players playing the game, because you had people like Asmongold playing the game. You had a lot of people playing this game, which puts a lot of eyes on the game, which make people want to try the game.
Everywhere. Every time you go to farm a world boss, the lines are full. There's so many people in one place fighting one thing that my game starts lagging, and I'm running a 4090 in my
tells you the state of this game. Have a 4090 and your game's lagging.
Computer. So things are going really well for this game. It's having a very successful launch. However, if you see right here, it actually looks like there's a ridiculous amount of negative reviews. And I'll actually just go to Steam too, because that shows a little bit better.
Oh, mixed reviews here too, yeah.
It has mixed reviews.
49% to 1% up.
49% of the 6,705 user reviews in your language are positive. So a little less than half. And what's even crazier is if we look at this and we filter it by playtime with over 5 hours played, a majority of them are positive. What is
Okay, well, with this, though, if you're playing over 5 hours, you're obviously more invested into the game. I'm gonna give it a buck with you guys. If you're playing this game for more than 5 hours, you're probably... I think the sunk cost fallacy has probably already hit your ass because you've already played fucking 5 hours of this shit show, so you can't look dumb now. You're like, dude, good game. And speaking to that fact as well, considering that over 5 hours, it's still only 73%, shows a lot. I honestly think if it was a review bomb situation, this number should be higher because there's a lot of problems with this game for sure, like a lot of them.
Does that mean? It means Star Resonance has been getting review bombed. This is post VOD Brax here because I realized I forgot to take a look at the Google Play Store, and I just want to show you guys 4.4 stars on Google Play, 9,000 reviews, 500,000 downloads. In the
Let me check my Google Play games because I want to see if this is concurrent to what this is showing here. The number's pretty close to this. This dropped by 0.1 points here, guys. It's at 4.3 now versus the 4.4 that you see here now on screen. So let's continue.
This game is doing great, and overwhelmingly, the reception has been very positive from people that have actually taken the time to play it. Granted, obviously, mobile gamers are going to be a little bit more used to the monetization model of this game, right? But even just from the perspective,
I don't think it's the monetization model. I'm actually surprised it's so high considering how shit this game runs.
The average Joe looking into this game and whether or not it's worth playing, if you look at the Steam reviews, you're going to be like, what the hell is going on? But then if you look at the Play Store reviews, it looks very good. It looks like everyone's enjoying it. There's a duality going on here.
Okay.
Before we continue any of this, I gotta read you this ad. So cue the ad. Yo, start. You wait.
Great ad. Play the game, guys. Play the game, guys. Play the game, guys. In Brax's description.
Let's filter it. So let's say minimum hours and no minimum. A lot of people do have some hours played that have some legitimate reviews, and I honestly don't really have a big problem with this. But what I do have a big problem with is the amount of people that are coming into my chat and they're like unsure of whether or not they should play the game because this game has been clearly review bomb. So I want to talk about why everyone kind of hates this game and
why do people hate the game, Brax? Please let me know right now. I would love to know.
And we just look at some reviews. You can see some are legit. Like there's some that are like, yeah, why all the time gates and life skill gates?
Okay, 44 hours, 26 hours is just bad.
I think that's a fair criticism. I think it's annoying when a game time gates things right off the bat. I really don't like it. And I understand why people don't like that either, because you'd rather just play the game. But whatever, like for me personally, I just don't really care because I'm having fun on the game. And I think that's
kind of a copium take. Time gate's fucking stupid. Why are we sitting here advocating for it? Why say you don't care about time gate when you probably do care about time gate? Just say you fucking hate time gate and it's toxic, you know? Like, why are we doing this little run around here?
It's like
you know?
the thought process of a lot of people on the game. It's like, yeah, would you prefer no time gate? Sure. But like, is that really stopping you from enjoying the game?
Yeah. I think it would probably stop you from enjoying the game. Honestly, I think it could add a lot of barriers to actually playing the game because if things are time gated, imagine how behind you start to feel when like you fucking miss a day. Like, right? Like, my thing is, if things are not time gated, you can go in, grind out as much as you want. Say you had to go to work for the week, you don't have time to play. Fine, that's cool. But Saturday, you're locking in and playing that shit all day. It might be unhealthy, but that's your choice to play for that amount of time. And I think that's completely fine if you want to try to catch back up and grind out and do whatever you want to do in the game because it's not time gated. I think time gated content's absolutely copium. I think it's bad in all gacha games. I think they need to get rid of that model. The reason they do it is to keep players' retention and people coming back every single day to play the game to not waste their resources.
Like, I'm still enjoying it. But if we scroll through it, this one just says it's just bad. Yeah. 26 hours. So maybe they just didn't like it. But there were some reviews I saw earlier that were like, just I'm not going to cope and say time gate's good, guys. I think time gate's still bullshit. Time gate's
okay, then why didn't you just say that
still
before that?
Like, I think it's bad. So
like, why are we capitulating to your audience now that they said it's bad? Just say it's bad.
Here we go. Here's some reviews that you can see here. Lazy asset flip, pay to win cash grab with OK combat. I don't know where the asset flip came from because it's
keep it a buck. Why people are saying it? I don't know so much about this review. The reason why they're saying that's an asset flip and pay to win cash grab, first of all, pay to win cash grab because it's gotcha and there's gotcha related elements to get you further ahead in the game. Secondly to that, lazy asset flip is just because it looks generic. It looks like any other anime mobile game that you can play, any other anime mobile gotcha game you can play. Genuinely. You look at things like Ethereal Restart, character design, world design kind of looks similar to that. You look at something like even Genshin Impact, right, which is probably where a lot of this is stemming from. You very similar. Like, look at most anime gotcha games, they look very similar. So saying that it's an asset flip, it's not true that it's an asset flip because they have their own, assets that they have created and made for this game. With that being said, though, it just looks like everything else. It just looks so fucking generic and it looks like an asset
Like
flip.
legit that own IP. Well, I guess they bought the IP from a Japanese company and they were like, hey, we want to make this game into a mobile version. And then the Japanese game ended because they fucked up astronomically.
Yeah, and you said the Japanese game ended because they fucked up astronomically. They also fucked up astronomically in this game
But
as well.
I don't think asset flip's a legit thing to call it. If you think it's pay to win cash grab, that's okay. I understand the issues with pay to win. I think that there's way too many shops in this game. But I think this 1.4 hours, I'd pay to get my time back. They have no valid criticism.
I wouldn't pay to get my time back because I get to show them the game and laugh at the game. But it did feel like a waste of time.
At all. They just want to get their time back. Okay, great. Why? What happened? What went wrong? That's all. Nothing. I'd pay to get my time back. They just didn't like it. Okay, great. Yeah. Gameplay is meh.
That's okay.
That's put too much effort in generating money. I think that's a fair review. I think that if you're focused on the pay to win aspects of the game and you're not focusing
enough on the gameplay, that is a very fair review actually.
But I will say that as someone that's been playing this for a few days, who played it in CN before and who played the beta in CN and the beta in NA, like the game is enjoyable despite the monetization, right? And
I don't think so. I just don't think that's the case. I don't think the game is enjoyable outside of the monetization. I don't know where we're getting this code from. This game's enjoyable outside of the monetization. Maybe he'll tell me why.
Free to play, no poll accounts on the CN servers, which I've just been really enjoying. I've been able to clear all the content that I've tried to. The only issues is I couldn't find groups because I don't speak Chinese, right? So that gives you some issues. But other than that, I think it's fine, right? Like I think that the monetization in it is not ideal, but it's not something that takes away from the gameplay in a significant way. You can still play the game and enjoy it plenty. Other than an actually good character creator where you can change player height, I've really disliked my experience. Okay, so this person doesn't like the cutscenes. They don't like the audio issues. They think the gameplay needs more fleshing out. The mounts suck. They think the fishing minigame explains so much in the tutorial and you think it'd be good, but that is just Stardew. And this game feels like it's trying to be Genshin Impact, but the story beats are half-baked and the English translations have errors and incorrect translations. And worst of all, Steam can't even reach the devs, so players can't request refunds. So here's the
Okay, first of all, number one, guys, Steam can't reach the devs, so you can't request refunds on bought items. Number one, it's a gotcha game. Fuck you. You think they're gonna refund you for that shit? Absolutely not. Unless they made a fucking clerical error on the description or something, you're not getting refunded. I think that should just be first and foremost, buddy, cooked. Number two, that as well. I think this explains it pretty nicely here. The story is absolute shit. And what I mean the story is absolute shit, if you watch my review video, literally in the story, you just have people moving like the mouse is moving like that. There's text going on screen. No voice acting going on. There is probably voice acting in it 5% of the game. And honestly, some of the voice acting just cuts off just at the weirdest times. The voice acting, when it's there, it's good. Genuinely, the actual voices coming out of these characters are good. The lip flaps are bad. The cutscenes are not good. The cutscenes do end abruptly. All the cutscenes look pretty fucking weird and honestly pretty bad. The gameplay definitely could be flushed out more because my whole thing with the game is this game is trying to emulate an action RPG. This is an MMO action RPG. If you're going to try to emulate a gacha-based MMO action RPG, then do a better job at it. I think the problem with this game is the problem with so many other games. Genshin Impact. It's the problem for all these games, right? Because if you look at an anime action RPG, the first thing that people look at, especially if it's a mobile game, is Genshin Impact. That is the standard of quality. It doesn't matter if your game's an MMO. It doesn't matter if your game is single player open world. It is going to get immediately compared to that. Now, am I saying that's right? No, I'm not saying it's right, but it's here, and that's what people do now. So you have to, that's the golden standard. If the quality of your game cannot reach the quality of that game at a base level, then I think people have, I don't see any problem with review bombing the game. This is the same thing that happened with Tower of Fantasy as well. Tower of Fantasy was sold as this MMO anime game, right? And everyone shit on it. And honestly, it wasn't that good of a game. It's shitty to compare it to Genshin Impact. It's just going to happen because it is the golden standard in the space.
There's a lot of people that are very focused on this being like Genshin Impact, and I'm just gonna be real. Ever since Genshin Impact came out, anytime an anime open world game comes out, it gets review bombed instantly with it, like right on release.
Okay, but let's be real here. I don't like Genshin. I fucking hate Genshin. With that being said, though, why is it getting review bombed, do you think? Do you think it's because of the Hoyo shills? Maybe so. Probably so. You probably get some review bombs because of the Hoyo shills. But let's speak on this to a realer level. You had people like Asmongold review the game. You have a lot of people playing this game and reviewing the game and stuff like that, giving their honest opinions on the game. Some of them, other people not giving as honest opinions because they're paid to say good things about the game, but that's neither here nor there. Well, yes, I think there's some review bombing going on. Alternatively to that, like I said before, Genshin Impact's the golden standard for these anime mobile action RPG games. And this game's combat reaches nowhere close to that game. I'm not gonna lie. There is levels to this stuff. You have this game right here. Genuinely, I would say Ni no Kuni Cross World, if you guys know what that is more unique, looks better, and plays better than this game. And the game was not good. Like Ni no Kuni Cross World was not good. I would say that TOF plays better than this game gameplay wise, and it's not good. And you know what all those games didn't do? They didn't reach the same quality of base level standards that you launched Genshin Impact did. Now, is this game getting review bomb? Probably so, but I think
and
it's
I wish I could go back in time and only show you reviews from those first few days. I don't know if am I just retarded? Like I genuinely can't.
Feels like Genshin Impact clone optimized for mobile. This is Genshin with worse combat, but an MMO. Yeah, it's the same thing people said about TOF. Hey, I'm just gonna say it. If you want to succeed in this space, it doesn't matter if your game's an MMO or not, and you're styling it. This game looks like character design wise and just asset wise looks very similar. But it just looks super similar to Genshin Impact. And if you want to distinct yourself and separate yourself from Genshin Impact, change your art style, change how the characters look, change the character design, and go for a completely different art style there. Don't capitulate yourself to Genshin Impact because it's gonna be immediately compared to Genshin Impact. It just is what it is if you're going to do that. If you're going to make your game look generic, look like Genshin Impact, then it's going to get compared to Genshin Impact. Like, genuinely.
Figure out if there's a way to do that. Instantly, this game had negative reviews, and if you looked at those reviews, I saw a few of them earlier today. I couldn't find them again because, you know, I have to make a video, so naturally they're not going to
I believe you. I'm not going to see your channel and believe
Failed
you.
to retrieve server list, bad game. It's like if Genshin was made by ChatGPT,
Bro!
Genshin Rails 0 third. Yeah, like, they're just like, oh yeah, guys, they copied all the Hoyoverse. Genuinely.
Okay, let's be real here. If you guys played through some of the story when you got on the boat and the boat exploded, that was bar for bar Penacony. Okay, guys, bar for bar Penacony.
Delusion. Right, they're just reviews of people saying like Genshin clone. And the craziest part is this game was being developed and announced.
Doesn't matter.
Genshin Impact.
Does not matter.
Like, this game had been.
Does not matter. It does not matter. This game was being developed before. You know what? They twisted and yoinked. They fucking took the IP. They said, "Damn, let's do this shit," and yoinked it. And then they ended up making a worse product. So now you're being compared to Genshin Impact. It does not matter if you were developed before. Plenty of people have done shit before that has been unsuccessful, and then one person does it the better way, and it blows up, and then that's the standard. That's what people think about when they think about the product.
Development for a very long time. The problem is that people don't know that because it never ended up releasing.
It doesn't matter.
If you go back and you look for the first whispers of this game, like 2015, 2016, people were hyped about it, and it got more and more hyped.
Yeah.
And
you want to know why people are hyped about it? Because they saw screenshots of this game and say, "Damn, this looks dope," and then they played Genshin Impact, and then this shit released fucking 4 years later with fucking. It came out in a worse state than Genshin Impact came out in, and it looks worse than Genshin Impact did when it came out, but years ago. And this is what you get.
Half the reason
this is what it is.
People were waiting for Blue Protocol to release in the West, but it just got delayed because they wanted to focus on Gundam or whatever over at Bandai Namco.
You know what? Bad decision.
Makes terrible choices with their games.
They do.
For some reason. I'll never
bad
understand
choices.
Why. But this game, its existence was prior to Genshin's.
Doesn't matter.
Everyone's saying it's a Genshin clone. It has no.
Doesn't matter. Didn't come out before. It doesn't matter how long this game was in development for. And any other action RPG that's in the anime style that looks like this game will always be compared to Genshin Impact. And people will always say it's a Genshin clone until the game is better.
No idea what they're talking
Make a better
about.
game.
Now, with that said, the Chinese release of this game, you guys know how games can be over in China. They tend to take things from other games and be pretty blatant about it, right? There are some things that are in this game that were not in the original that, yeah, you could argue are Genshin clones or whatever. But this game actually was an original concept before Genshin. And I think people comparing it to Genshin don't really have any legs to stand on for their.
I think they do have leg to stand on though. Like this game didn't come out. It's like saying that's like okay, guys. I guess my example for this, it's like me saying, okay, my idea is to make a video on pulling a pack of One Piece TCG cards every day and making it like I don't know, like a daily dose of One Piece TCG, right? But I never execute on that, and then someone else does it, and it blows up, and then I come and say, well, I did that at first. I just talked about it in the video, and I never did it. It doesn't matter. They executed on it before I did. They made the content. They set the standard. It just is what it is. Copium.
Criticism. I do think that if you don't like the music, if you don't like the cutscenes, that's subjective, right? You can hate that, but the Genshin
Well, okay, sure, it is subjective, but they are ass.
comparison, it's stupid. It's uneducated. People haven't bothered to look
Sure,
into it.
subjective.
Let's see funny reviews, chat. 1.6 hours. Cured my long-term insomnia by being insufferably
True. Honestly, I probably would have fell asleep too. Honestly, it kind of did put me to sleep after the 3-hour mark.
Okay. 1.6 hours, 0.7 hours,
Doesn't matter.
0.6 hours. The funniest reviews tend to be the ones with the least playtime. Oh my god. Wait, this is all the EU people.
Doesn't matter.
Another one of the main reasons people got
Why are we
upset about this game is
slut-shaming
because
people
the
that play the game
servers are
for not a
based
long
in
time?
North America, but it also is an EU server game.
Yeah.
I think that's also kind of a valid criticism. Like, yeah, that shouldn't be a thing. But like to say the game's bad because that's where the server's at, it's just kind of wrong, right? Like,
I don't think it's wrong, and I'll tell you why I don't think it's wrong. Because if you're playing an MMO, literally, quite literally, you are solely reliant on ping when you're in fights. If it feels like a glitchy, laggy ass mess all the time, regardless of how good your internet is, that's a problem. And I think it's a valid criticism to make, a valid review to make, because your game feels like shit.
yeah, okay, maybe it's not as enjoyable over in EU because you like lag or whatever, but also I know plenty of people in EU who have no problems with this, who have the same ping as me. So I kind of feel like it's a person by person basis.
It is. And you know what? The people that have the bad pings, they're valid to put their reviews
Add
on.
a server into EU, absolutely. Like having one server is a mistake, right? But like, come on, that doesn't mean the game's shit.
Can mean the game's shit for them, if the game is shit for them. That's like saying, like, I'm gonna load up a Valorant lobby in an Oceania and play because that's the only server they have. Of course I'm gonna think the game is fucking shit because my ping's at 3,000, you know?
And another reason that people are upset about it is because Southeast Asia can't play, which again, I think is like, yeah, okay, fair. You can be upset. That doesn't make the game shit, though. Leaving a
I will say, I don't think if you're in Southeast Asia and you can't play the game, completely, I think you can't criticize the game because you haven't played it. If you cannot play the game, there's no reason you should be putting a review on the game because you have not played the game at all.
a review on Steam doesn't tell them to release it in Southeast Asia. It doesn't do anything, right? Like you're just making other people not want to play the game because you're upset that you can't play, which I think is also stupid, right? Like, yeah.
How about this? How about this? Instead of you making people not want to play the game, how about if the game's good, or you know what? How about let's get out of this hive mind mentality of like, oh, well, review says game bad, I not play. How about if people actually want to try the game, you just fucking play the game? It's as easy as clicking the download button and playing the game.
To be upset. I wish that Southeast Asia could play too, but like, does that make the game bad? No. Like, I don't say Honor of Kings is a game because it's popular in China, right? Like that's not how that works. I want a refund on the free-to-play game.
Well, I mean, okay, if you're saying Honor of Kings is a shit game because it's popular in China, if it's available here and you can play it here and you don't have a good time here, then you can say it's shit.
Less than 2 hours played WoW Killer. Wait, that's actually okay. That's funny.
Yeah, dude.
It's the WoW Killer, chat.
The WoW Killer.
0.8 hours on record. Not fun. No desire to log in. A bunch of my friends are playing it. Hate pay-to-win games. I play MMOs. I don't know what it is about this one. It just wasn't fun. Yeah, it's not for everyone. This one hates monetization. Not good. 2 hours on file. Great. So many people are fake adding credibility to their reviews too, right? Because you go look at like stuff like this, 87 hours on record. Guys, the game has not been out that long. The game has been out for 4 days, not even a full 24. It hasn't even been out for a full like 96 hours. 87 hours? Yeah, fucking they leave the game open.
They probably still play it though.
Right, and it adds credibility to their review. Just sleep 1 hour a day. True. Just play Throne and Liberty is insane, by the way. Throne and Liberty has worse.
Hey, if they like Throne and Liberty, let them play it.
Game 1,000-fold, but yeah.
But what about the gameplay? What about the gameplay? I haven't played Throne and Liberty, so I can't sit here and say I don't know how Throne and Liberty is. But is the gameplay better?
Whatever, man. The game's mid. Combat's mid. Story's mid. The graphics are mid. There's no reason to play this game.
Yep, true.
Let me set. Oh.
Dude, that's a fucking book.
This is probably the most
Bible.
legitimate review anyone's given to this, but I think he's given it a solid 3 out of 10, which I think is being pretty harsh. That's crazy though.
Why is it being harsh? He put 21 hours into the fucking game and wrote a fucking paragraph.
Okay, you know, props to this person for actually putting in the time and writing a review. So overall, like,
It doesn't matter.
Look
Hey, if a game's shit, a game's shit. Fuck being harsh. Just fucking say your honest truth, you
at
know?
all of these, can't connect to the servers. 0.1 hours on. Okay, that checks out. You couldn't connect.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend this game doesn't have horrible monetization, because it does.
It
right?
does have
But,
horrible monetization, but there's also the gameplay fucking sucks ass
it's
as
very
well.
enjoyable, right? And I think a lot of people feel that way, because if you look at the Steam charts, there are a lot of people playing this. New World just came out with a brand new DLC, and I think it's free. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the DLC, they said if you own the game, it's free. And their player base, if you go look at New World, they had a much higher peak, right? They almost had 1 million players peak. But we're looking at players right now in 24.
This doesn't matter. This genuinely does not matter. This game came out in 2021. It's not a new game. It's a new update for a game, which usually brings in less players anyways. The game's sitting at 68 fucking % review ratio. You think people are coming back in droves to play fucking New World? The game's shit as is. No one's coming back to play fucking New World.
Hour peak. They have like 41,000. Then that's with an expansion. That's with an expansion. Chat.
Yes, with an expansion for a shit game.
This game's doing really well for its launch.
This game's doing really well for a gacha launch. No shit it is.
Like, especially considering the fact that
that's most gacha games. They do decent on launch.
There are so many anime games on the market, and so many things that are trying to compete for this spot of anime MMO now, with Tower of Fantasy and with Crystal of Atlan. It's
okay, well, Crystal of Atlan came out years ago, and Tower of Fantasy came out years ago.
Doing really great, and there's a reason why it's doing great.
And just like Tower of Fantasy and Crystal of Atlan, this game will probably be at the same level those games are at within that time frame as well. Here, like Twitch tracker showing people streaming the game and playing the game. Let's compare Tower of Fantasy in its peak with around 275,000 viewers at one point, with around 6,000 channels. Obviously, this is going to be inflated because they're botting the fucking channels and shit like that. And obviously, the botting issue is somewhat fixed now. That's compared to 128,000. Literally double this. Now, obviously, this has a lot to do with bots, and looking at the channels here, there's obviously a lot less people streaming the game in general. That means a lot less people are playing the game in general. So, I mean, like, do you really think this game's gonna last that long with a viewer base already this low? Like, obviously, I know, like, viewer base is not set in stone for how a game's gonna do, right? Because you have games like FGO that do super well and don't have, like, much of a viewer base, but I think this is a good determining factor on how well a game's gonna be doing in the future, considering its peak was 128,000 with 1,700 channels streaming it, versus the peak of this right here, Tower of Fantasy, which was 275,000 viewers watching it peak, and let's see here, 6,200 channels. Even at the next month, it was around 65,000 viewers. So, like, overall, if you want to compare it to Tower of Fantasy did better. Miles better than this game did. If we want to look at this.
The reviews of people who have played for more than like 4 hours, it's positive. It's mostly positive. It's because the people that are actually putting time into the game are realizing, yeah, despite the monetization being absolute dog, and they should absolutely fix it, because if they did, this game would be 100 times better, but it's fun despite that. And I think that's what
I don't necessarily think that. I think the more time you put into a game, the more sunk cost fallacy you have with the game. I think plenty of gacha games are like this. And speaking of that, the people that have, you know, spent more than 4 to 5 hours in the game, have they spent money on the game? That also incentivizes you to like the game more as well. I mean, like, I know a lot of people probably don't want to admit it, but if you have spent money and a lot of time into a game, even like a couple hours into a game that is widely considered to be pretty fucking shit, why would you go out there and say it's pretty fucking shit when you spent this much time in the game, and or even spent money on the game? Even if it's not shit, right? You don't want to sit here and call the game shit. For me, I can give you a perfect example. I've spent thousands of dollars, genuinely thousands of dollars, on fucking Dokkan Battle. I barely play Dokkan Battle. I hop in every once in a while. I cannot bring myself to delete the game. I don't really enjoy the game that much anymore. But fuck me if I can't delete it, because I'll look like a dumbass if I do delete it. Same thing with Cookie Run Kingdom. $3,000 for a Sea Fairy, which I didn't get. That's neither here nor there. But I can't delete the game off my phone because I look stupid if I did anyways.
But a lot of people are just not willing, like, they're not willing to give the game a chance because they see the Steam reviews of people that never actually gave the game a chance to begin with. And they just,
I will say that I don't think people should judge playing a game just off of Steam reviews alone. If a game's shit, a game's shit, right? And I get that everyone's time is very, very valuable, and you don't want to waste your time playing some shit But in the grand scheme of things, if you think something could be interesting and you're looking on the page to even play the game to begin with, and you're getting your opinion based off of Steam reviews, just fucking play the game and get the experience for yourself. I think it's fucking dumb. I think that you shouldn't be influenced by the fucking reviewers reviewing the game. You shouldn't be influenced by my opinion, nor should you be influenced by Brax's opinion as well. If a game looked interesting to you, then play the fucking game. Just get out of this stupid shit of like hive
Yeah,
mind
and there's some
mentality.
valid Steam reviews of people saying, "Yeah, I don't like this thing about the game. You know,
I don't like most
the
things about
fact
the
that
game.
there are
I think most of the games are pretty bad.
Chinese things in the game like stamina, like a gotcha, and time gating." That's
I even think it's just that. I think it's just the overall gameplay as well. I've seen plenty of criticisms of the gameplay.
valid. I hate a lot too, right? I think it's annoying as but the game is enjoyable enough for me to where I'm gonna play
Well,
it
if it's good for you,
anyways.
then
What
it's
part
good
of the
for you.
monetization bothers you? I just ignore it. I think the fact that there is such aggressive monetization in your gear progression is just annoying. I think that in any MMO, you should not be able to pay for any power at all. It should be strictly cosmetic. As soon as you add pay for power to any online game, it instantly becomes like a whole tier lower worth of a game. Any game where they put pay for power in, they make it so that you have to have an incentive to pay for power. What that means is they put a limited amount of things that you can get for your character progression because they want you to spend, right? So they limit the amount you can do,
or they time gate it, or they time gate your content by like having like an RNG. The perfect example I can give this, I'm playing Wizard 101 again. And in that game, what you can do is if you farm through a dungeon or a world and you don't get the gear set you need or the piece of gear that you need, there's a chance at the end of the world that you can spend premium currency on and actually get that gear. Or there's even a whole gacha system involved with getting the gear. Now, the gear is not necessarily better than any other gear. It really just depends. There's some gear that is better, but it usually scales to what you can actually get within game. But ultimately, you can pay to get some of that time back instead of having to farm. You can roll on chests to have another chance of getting an item that you might not have gotten.
Money on that. If they put a gacha in the game, they have to limit your drops. If
they
let you farm dungeons unlimited for gear, then they have to put something in to enhance your gear that is limited, so that way you can't just grind it out. That's the annoying That's why pay for power is annoying, and
it is very
what bothers
annoying
me about it, because if they simply didn't have it in the game,
if you didn't have pay for power, then you wouldn't have a time gator system as well.
It'd be 10 times better, 100 times better. Regardless, if you look at the reviews, a majority
but like
of
I said,
them
I don't think that's the main. I don't think that's the main problem with the game, though. I think the main problem with the game is that the game's just not that good.
It was either
overall,
one,
gameplay wise,
bomb, two, someone who just hates anime shit, because that's a thing that happens everywhere, or three,
I agree
someone
with
that's
that.
disgruntled with the monetary mechanics of the game. And I think
I'm not either of those three camps. I don't think the gameplay is fun. I don't think the story is executed well. The animations are just all kind of lackluster and kind of shit. And I don't think we should be, criticizing people that have put, 1 to 2 hours into the game and saying, oh, their reviews are fucking worthless. They don't mean anything because they've only put 1 to 2 hours into the game. If you cannot hook someone within 1 to 2 hours, then why? I hate the mentality of like, hey, play 14 hours of the game first, play 5 to 6 hours of the game first, and then give your honest review of it then. Like, you have to play this long before it gets good. Fuck that. If the game's not good within the first 2 hours, then get the fuck off of it. It's a major waste of time if that's not the case.
Fair, but let's be honest, like the other just doesn't even matter, right? There's gacha tribalism has found its way to an anime MMORPG that wasn't even trying to compete.
And well, yeah, I think there is some, gacha tribalism with this, but that can, like I said, be attested to how the game looks overall and the kind of vibe they were going for with the game aesthetically. I think even like just selling the game as like an action RPG MMO even kind of shoots itself in the foot with how it looks. But yeah, I mentioned a lot about that earlier.
Goddamn irritating. If we look at the minimum of 4 hours, and we don't just filter by negative, 69% of user reviews 4 hours over are positive. If we go even higher, obviously it's going to get more positive the more hours
sunk cost fallacy.
The more hours you have, the more you enjoyed the game.
Exactly.
Right. So very
also
positive.
sunk cost fallacy.
Over 20 hours, 82% of them are positive reviews. But
it's like the Genshin players. This is the biggest problem I have with the Genshin community is all these Genshin players have spent so much time and money in the game that they will sit there and never call their game shit because or say the game's bad or criticize the game at all because they have spent so much time and so much money in the game that they feel like they cannot call it shit, and they're just fucking deluding themselves to say that this game's peak when it's not peak.
It's just a bummer because the review bombing is turning a lot of people away from the game. Now, with that said, I do think there's some validity to the monetization. It's annoying as I get you, but
it's more than monetary,
it's a free
though.
game, right? You can enjoy it. You can say, hey, these things are good about the game and these things are bad about the game. A lot of the people that think the game's combat is bad haven't gotten to experience what it's like to be in an endgame raid or fight bosses with actual.
That's not the point. You shouldn't have
mechanics. Most of the people that think combat's bad didn't even get high enough level to get all your abilities unlocked or don't
That doesn't matter. If the game's combat is fundamentally flawed and not fun in the early levels, pre 5 hours, pre 4 hours, if it's not fun within the first hour to 2 hours, that shit is ass. You should not expect anyone to put in hours and hours and hours and hours to say, oh, the game gets good now. You're not going to sit there and watch a show because, oh, the show gets good after you've watched every episode of the season. The last episode is peak. So make sure you watch the last episode. And you're not going to do that. Same thing with this game. You're not going to waste your fucking time. And no one should waste their time playing a game that is not fun until the 20-hour mark. Genuinely.
Understand the inner mechanisms and inner workings of the abilities.
You don't need to.
I think when it comes,
it should be intuitive enough so you don't have to do that.
down to is people hate Blue Protocol Star Resonance for a few different reasons. One is gacha tribalism. Oh god, another anime game's entering the space. Well, that Genshin Impact's better.
Oh,
Two,
no. Okay, people comparing it, I think that's fine. Gacha tribalism, absolutely fucking horrendous. I hate gacha tribalism. I think the more games we get in the space, the better, but they just need to be good.
monetization. Sounds actually fair. Three, well, maybe it's just not for them. A lot of people don't like anime MMOs, and some people don't like the actual gameplay core mechanics. But those are the people that should be writing the reviews, not the people that have not played the game, right? Play the fucking game, make your
Okay, that's fucking bullshit though to say that. Sit there and say that. Play the fucking game. I think anyone that's played the game for more than an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, that's valid enough. If the game is not capturing people then why the fuck should you be playing the game? Wizard 101 captured me within the first hour. It was fun in the first couple hours of the game. So guess what? I stuck playing to it. Same thing with Tower Fantasy. It was fun within the first couple hours, so I played with it for longer and longer and longer. Then I had in-game problems you ran into and problems past that point. But the initial point of the start of the game was good. The problem is, the beginning of this game is so dog shit and dog ass. Everything's so badly optimized. The fucking voice lines are cut out, so you can't even get that experience, really. It's just shit to start out with. And does it really get that much better? Like, does the game 3x in the enjoyment you're gonna have? Because this game would honestly need to fucking 100x the enjoyment I have to make you want to play it more, or make me want to play it more.
judgment and then write a review. Don't play the game for fucking 4 minutes and go, yeah, this is dog. I'm not saying this is all Genshin players, by the way.
Okay, well, also don't sit there and say if you play the game for less than 5 fucking hours, then don't do that either. Like, okay, you play the game for a couple minutes, that's fucking ridiculous, okay? If you played the game for an hour, you have a valid review because you have actually played through some of the story. You've gotten glimpses of the combat. You've gotten glimpses of the story. You've gotten glimpses of the events. You've gotten glimpses of the open world. You've got a glimpse of everything, and you've got a taste of everything. And if that taste is not good, then why continue fucking playing?
But you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Wulwa got the treatment. Tower of Fantasy got the treatment. Crystal of Outline got the treatment. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
they
think of,
did.
like, what other
They
anime
did.
games.
But you know what? You know what about all those games, though? Crystal of Atlan, Tower of Fantasy, Woo-Wah. Tell me what the difference is between these games. Tower of Fantasy failed because it wasn't good. Crystal of Atlan failed because it wasn't good. Wuthering Waves did not fail and is actually striving and doing very good now in comparison to Genshin Impact and the other games. You want to know why? Because the game is fucking good. The game is good. That is why people are playing the game still. Will this game be like that? Only time will tell. I don't know. I don't think it will, but shit, maybe I'm fucking wrong. Maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I'm retarded.
HSR was shit at launch. I remember.
Yeah, everyone says every game's a shit at launch, but guess what? The games that are still good are actually still relevant to this day. I enjoyed Wuthering Waves at release, and I think most people did enjoy Wuthering Waves at release, or actual like people with a fucking brain did.
Only content creators that was saying good
fucking
things about
stupid if you
HSR,
think,
and before HSR
whatever,
came
I'm
out, I was like,
fucking
this game's
jabbing right
amazing.
now.
And then people changed their tune when they started playing it. The thing is, you have to try the game. Like,
yeah, I tried the game for 3 to 4 hours, and this shit did not hook me. It was not good.
if you just let everyone who's saying bad shit about the game, a free
You know,
game,
I completely agree with Brax about this. Quit letting people's opinions dictate your fucking shit on the game. Now, if you fucking hate the game too, feel free to shit on the game. I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're wrong if you think the game is good. I'm saying the game is fucking shit. That's my opinion. I think the game is absolute horseshit. And I do think there's validity to a lot of these reviews on it. It's not all to fucking review bombs of why the game feels shit or why people perceive the game as shit. It's just because the game's not that good. That's just is what it is.
Steer you in one way or the other. You're gonna be unhappy. If the game's not free, then yeah, don't spend $60 on something everyone's saying is bad. But like if the game is free,
How about this? he said don't spend $60 on a game that people are saying are bad. That same logic can be used with a free game as well. The barrier to entry, I gets a lot higher there. But if you genuinely think a game is interesting and you're playing on Steam, guess what? Steam has a policy where you can refund that shit. You can refund the game if it's not fun, if it doesn't captivate you. Like I said, if a game does not captivate you within the first hour to 2 hours and you paid for it, refund that shit. Easy as that. Fucking easy as that.
It's a shame that this is what gaming has come
Fuck
to.
a review, go play it yourself
anime
and figure out
gaming has
yourself.
come to, because I don't see this happen as much in
You know
other
what, guys? I encourage you all to go play this game. Everyone that watches this video that hasn't played the game yet, that thanks this game shit off of watching reviews, go play the game and form an opinion for yourself. Come back to this video and tell me how you thought the game actually was. I would love to know.
I think MMO players are generally disgruntled because, yeah, we haven't had a good MMO release.
Yeah, this was
10 years minimum, right? Like, it's been such a long time since we had a good MMO release that does not have overly aggressive monetization. But that doesn't mean you can't, like, enjoy everything for a little bit. Everyone enjoyed Lost Ark at launch. Not anymore. But, like, I feel like a lot of those people didn't really have anything better to do. They're playing Lost Ark because they're having fun. And games are about having fun at the end of the day. So, with all that being said, guys, I don't know. I think a lot of the hatred for this game is overblown. I think the hatred of the monetization,
I just think the game's not good.
Double down on that. Right, like this shit. If they took the monetization out of the game, or the aggressive,
they need to fix the game too. It is not just the monetization. And guys, I've been yapping for fucking 15 minutes now. Okay, you guys are done with hearing me yap. This was a 17-minute video. I've been going for too long. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I disagree completely on the fact that, you know, if you have less than 4 hours played in the game, 5 hours played in the game, that you don't have a valid review, fuck that. If the game didn't captivate you within that 1 to 2 hour mark, then you are well within your right to leave a bad review on this game. Now, with that being said, if you haven't played the game, I don't think you should take all the reviews at face value. Play the game for yourself and experience for yourself, and then leave a review based off of that. But I think it's very copium to say that this game doesn't have problems outside of monetization issues, because this game has a lot of optimization issues. This game has a lot of issues with the combat. The fucking running feels sluggish. Shit, I made a whole video about this. Go watch that video if you want to see my full opinions on the game, where I fully fucking shit on this game because I fucking hated it. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Maybe you didn't. Probably you didn't. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like and comment to boost this up if you really want this video to get pushed out more. And yeah, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.